Hey everyone. I'm your host, and welcome to Hollybuzz.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, also known as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the United States, India, and the Philippines, is a 2001 fantasy film directed by Chris Columbus and written by Steve Kloves, based on the 1997 novel by J.K. Rowling. It is the first installment in the Harry Potter film series and stars Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, with Rupert Grint as Ron Weasley and Emma Watson as Hermione Granger. Its story follows Harry's first year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry as he discovers that he is a famous wizard and begins his formal wizarding education. Warner Bros. Pictures bought the film rights to the book in 1999 for a reported £1 million. Production began in the United Kingdom in 2000, with Columbus being chosen to helm the film from a short list of directors that included Steven Spielberg and Rob Reiner. Rowling insisted that the entire cast be British and Irish, with the three leads chosen in August 2000 following open casting calls. Filming took place at Leavesden Film Studios and historic buildings around the United Kingdom from September 2000 to March 2001. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was previewed for 2 days in cinemas in the United Kingdom from 10 November 2001 and opened on 16 November in the United States and the United Kingdom. It became a critical and commercial success, grossing $974 million at the box office during its initial run and over $1 billion with subsequent re-releases against a $125 million budget. It became the highest-grossing film of 2001 and the second highest-grossing film at the time. The film was nominated for several awards, including Academy Awards for Best Original Score, Best Art Direction, and Best Costume Design. It was followed by 7 sequels, beginning with Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets in 2002 and ending with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 in 2011. Cast, further information. List of Harry Potter cast members, a photograph of Daniel Radcliffe, a photograph of Rupert Grint, a photograph of Emma Watson. Top to bottom, Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson. Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter. An 11-year-old orphan living with his unwelcoming aunt, uncle, and cousin who learns of his own fame as a wizard known to have survived his parents' murder at the hands of the dark wizard Lord Voldemort as an infant when he is accepted to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Columbus had wanted Radcliffe for the role since he saw him in the BBC's production of David Copperfield before the open casting sessions had taken place, but had been told by casting director Susan Figgis that Radcliffe's protective parents would not allow their son to take part in fear of him not going to have a normal childhood. Columbus explained that his persistence in giving Radcliffe the role was responsible for Figgis' resignation. Radcliffe was asked to audition in 2000 when Heyman and Kloves met him and his parents at a production of Stones in His Pockets in London. Heyman and Columbus successfully managed to convince Radcliffe's parents that their son would be protected from media intrusion. They agreed to let him play Harry. Rowling approved of Radcliffe's casting, stating that, having seen his screen test, I don't think Chris Columbus could have found a better Harry. Radcliffe was reportedly paid £1 million for the film, although he felt the fee was not that important to him. The Saunders triplets appear as Harry as a baby. Rupert Grint as Ron Weasley, Harry's best friend at Hogwarts and a younger member of the Weasley wizarding family. A fan of the series, Grint decided he would be perfect for the part because he has ginger hair. Having seen a Newsround report about the open casting, he sent in a video of himself rapping about how he wished to receive the part. His attempt was successful as the casting team asked for a meeting with him. Marketing. The first teaser poster of the film was released on 1 December 2000. The first teaser trailer was released via satellite on 2 March 2001 and debuted in cinemas with the release of See Spot Run. A video game based on the film was released on 15 November 2001 by Electronic Arts for several consoles. A port for the game for the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox was released in 2003. Mattel won the rights to produce toys based on the film to be sold exclusively through Warner Bros. Stores. Hasbro also produced products, including confectionery products based on those from the series. Warner Bros. Signed a deal worth US $150 million with Coca-Cola to promote the film, although some pegged the deal at $40 million to $50 million worldwide for the movie. Lego produced a series of sets based on buildings and scenes from the film, as well as a Lego Creator video game. Theatrical release, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, had its world premiere at the Odeon Leicester Square in London on 4 November 2001, with the cinema arranged to resemble Hogwarts School. The film had previews in the United Kingdom on 1,137 screens at 491 theaters on 10 and 11 November 2001. It officially opened on 16 November 2001 on 1,168 screens at 507 theaters in the United Kingdom and Ireland, in 3,672 theaters in the United States and Canada. It was the widest release at the time in the United Kingdom and the United States. Box office. In the United Kingdom and Ireland, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone grossed a record single-day gross of £3.6 million during the first day of previews, beating Toy Story 2's record. It grossed a record £3.1 million for a Sunday, bringing its total to £6.7 million from the previews. It broke the record for the highest opening weekend ever, both including and excluding previews, making £16.3 million with and $9.6 million without previews, setting a further record single-day gross on the Saturday with $3.99 million. It set another Sunday record with a gross of $3.6 million. It had a record second weekend of $8.4 million. It remained at number 1 in the UK for 5 weeks. The film went on to make £66.1 million in the UK alone, making it the country's second highest-grossing film of all time, until it was surpassed by Mamma Mia. In the United States and Canada, it made $32.3 million on its opening day, breaking the single-day record previously held by Star Wars Episode I: The Phantom Menace. On the second day of release, the film's gross increased to $33.5 million, breaking the record for biggest single day again. It made $90.3 million during its first weekend, breaking the record for highest opening weekend of all time that was previously held by The Lost World: Jurassic Park. It held the record until the following May, when Spider-Man made $114.8 million in its opening weekend. Plus, the film broke Batman Forever's record for having the largest opening weekend for a Warner Bros. Film. It would hold this record for 2 years until it was surpassed by The Matrix Reloaded. Additionally, it shattered other opening records, surpassing Monsters, Inc. for having the biggest November opening weekend, Planet of the Apes for having the largest non-holiday opening weekend, the highest Friday gross, and the biggest opening weekend of the year, The Mummy Returns for scoring the highest Saturday gross, Home Alone 2: Lost in New York for having the highest opening weekend for a Chris Columbus film, and Mission Impossible 2 for having the largest number of screenings, playing at 3,672 theaters. In just 5 days, it became the fastest film to approach the $100 million mark. The film grossed $2.3 million in its first 2 days in Taiwan, giving it a worldwide opening weekend total of $107 million. The film held on to the number 1 spot at the U.S. box office for 3 consecutive weekends before getting overtaken by Ocean's 11. The film also had the highest-grossing 5-day Thanksgiving weekend record of $82.4 million, holding the title for 12 years until both The Hunger Games: Catching Fire and Frozen surpassed it with $110.1 million and $94 million, respectively. By Christmas, it went on to become the highest-grossing film of the year, dethroning Shrek. Similar results were achieved across the world. A week after opening in the United States, the film added 15 additional markets and set an opening week record in Germany, grossing $18.7 million. It also set opening records in Austria, Brazil, Denmark, Finland, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, and German-speaking Switzerland. In the following weekend, after expanding to 31 countries, the film set a record overseas weekend gross of $60.9 million, including record openings in Australia, Greece, Israel, Japan, New Zealand, and Spain.
It set another overseas weekend record with $62.3 million from 37 countries the following weekend, including record openings in France, Italy, and French-speaking Switzerland. The international opening weekend record would be held until it was given to Star Wars Episode II: Attack of the Clones a year later.
During its theatrical run, the film earned $974 million at the worldwide box office, $317 million of that in the U.S. and $657 million elsewhere, which made it the second highest-grossing film in history at the time, as well as the year's highest-grossing film. In addition, it surpassed Twister to become the highest-grossing Warner Brothers film of all time. It is the second highest-grossing Harry Potter film after Deathly Hallows Part 2. Box Office Mojo estimates that the film sold over 55.9 million tickets in the U.S. and Canada. In August 2020, The Philosopher's Stone was re-released in several countries, including a 4K 3D restoration in China, where it earned $26.4 million for a global $1.026 billion, making it the second film in the series to surpass the billion-dollar mark. After Deathly Hallows Part 2, home media Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was first released on VHS and DVD on 11 May 2002 in the United Kingdom and 28 May 2002 in the United States. Between May and June 2002, the film sold 10 million copies, almost 60% of which were DVD sales. It would go on to make $19.1 million in rentals, surpassing The Fast and the Furious for having the largest DVD rentals. This record was surpassed by The Bourne Identity in January 2003. In December 2009, a 4-disc Ultimate Edition was released, with 7 minutes of deleted scenes added back in, the feature-length special Creating the World of Harry Potter Part 1, The Magic Begins, and a 48-page hardcover booklet. The extended version has a running time of about 159 minutes, which had previously been shown during certain television airings.
The film was re-released on DVD as part of the 8-disc Harry Potter: The Complete 8-Film Collection in November 2011, and on Blu-ray as part of the 31-disc Hogwarts Collection in April 2014. It was released on UHD Blu-ray as part of the 16-disc Harry Potter 8-Film Collection in November 2017. Originally created for the film's U.S. TV premiere in May 2004, then later released on the film's Ultimate Edition in 2009, this extended version of the first Harry Potter film adds 6.5 minutes of new bits and bobs to the already lengthy adaptation. Having not seen Philosopher's Stone for something approaching a decade, I wasn't sure I'd be able to spot what had been added, especially when the new inclusions were so small. And indeed I couldn't, but the film all seemed so very familiar. As it turns out, there's a very easy way to find out what's new, as well as explain why it didn't jump out at me. Look in the disc's deleted scenes section. Included on the film's original DVD release back in 2002, albeit under a series of frustrating mini-games, were 6 short deleted sequences and 1 extended one. I owned that DVD, and I found and watched those scenes, and it's those and those alone that were added back into the film in 2004. I suppose that's unsurprising, really. They were fully mastered, and presumably, if there'd been any more, they would have been included on the DVD too. So what's new? A couple of snippets of the Dursleys, a bit with Harry and Hagrid on the way to Diagon Alley, an extended scene in Snape's first class, an extra beat with the 3 leads after they defeat the troll in the bathroom, an introspective moment at Christmas, and a fuller version of the kids finally discovering who Nicholas Flamel is. Harry Potter and the Floating Feather. Are any of these of great consequence? Not really. I presume the first 3 were cut to Hogwarts that bit quicker, while the classroom scene displays a petulance from Harry that isn't entirely in keeping with how he's been presented to that point. The others were, I suppose, sacrifices for time and pace, though as they're so short and such a long film, they hardly make a mark. As for the film itself, it holds up surprisingly well after 12 years and 7 increasingly dark follow-ups. The child actors aren't that bad, all things considered. The adult cast are a constant delight. The CGI looks surprisingly good. John Seale's cinematography looks gorgeously film-like on Blu-ray, especially when you take a look in some of the documentaries that merrily mix clips from all the films. Half-Blood Prince, in particular, looks like a horrendous mess of OTT digital post-production. At the time, Philosopher's Stone received criticism for journeyman directing from Columbus and a too faithful adaptation of Rowling's novel. Ironically, one of the top threads on IMDb's forum for the film now complains that it's not faithful enough.
The truth is closer to the former than the latter, but that doesn't make it a bad film. True, it may struggle to convert those new to the world of Potter, and perhaps a Lord of the Rings-style brisk theatrical version, followed by a more extensive and faithful extended edition, would have been the way to go. But whereas every film of any quality can get such treatment these days, Harry Potter and the game of chess, that wasn't common practice back at the turn of the millennium, so the filmmakers can't be blamed for not doing it. As it stands, I think they mostly struck a fair balance between fidelity and the fact it's an adaptation. Similarly, Columbus's direction is rarely exemplary, but it's competent with some memorable moments. Even if the extended version makes little difference, I still enjoyed revisiting Philosopher's Stone. It marks the beginning of an attempt to rewatch the entire saga over 8 consecutive weeks, which will hopefully be both fun and interesting. Already, I'm spotting links and connections to later events that wouldn't have been apparent when first viewing the film. Harry Potter isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I think they're an entertaining, well-put-together series of fantasy adventures. Plus, as child-driven worldwide media phenomena of the 21st century go, it's the only one I can think of that isn't offensively awful.